So my mom is selling her house, and what she's going to do, she's doing the same thing that everybody does when they live in the suburbs. You know, you sell your house, you have all kinds of crap that's been building up, and you just have a yard sale. So she's having a couple of yard sales. She has this planned, and we've been going through everything and being like, keep, yard sale, donate. Like we have 3 boxes, and we just, been getting rid of stuff. But then there's stuff that she's pulling up that was like my grandmother's, her great grandmother's, and we're like, is this stuff worth anything? Like, should we bring it somewhere or just sell it? We didn't know what to do. So there's a story today. This little tiny Chinese bowl, this little like blue and white Chinese bowl. Like if you went down to Chinatown right now, they're literally in every single shop that you can buy. If you like to buy stuff, we get a lot of stuff in Chinatown because they have great little like bowls and chopsticks and things like that. So it's one of those little blue and white bowls that you've seen a million times. So a Chinese bowl that's sold for $35 at a yard sale in Connecticut turned out to be a rare 15th century porcelain bowl made in China. It was auctioned off yesterday at Sotheby's. So it started out, Sotheby's had it estimated as the value, $500,000. After 15 bids, it went for $722,000.
See, that's one of those things that happens once in a blue moon. If you go to a garage sale and buy crap, 99.9% of the time, it's cheap crap. So if you're going to go to a yard sale thinking that you're going to buy a bowl worth $1 million, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Your odds, you could just go buy a lottery ticket. That's a better chance.
My mom's more concerned of like, all the stuff that she has that are like family heirloom. She's like, is any of this worth anything? Like, how do I figure out if any of this is worth stuff? Or do I just sell everything for $10 and then read about my own items that sold at Sotheby's for $100,000 in a couple of months?
Well, my family in Michigan, they had a bowl that my grandfather swear it came from Sicily. It came over on the boat. They had their clothes and this bowl, and it's got gold around it, and it was in the cabinet. One of the family members tried to steal it.
Oh, my God.
So it was it broke up the family. I mean, this stupid bowl broke up the whole family because now my grandfather doesn't want any of those people in his house because they tried to steal the bowl. And so I got this whole showdown a couple of years ago when I was up there. So I went online and looked at it, found another bowl just like it for $15. I was like, you let this bowl tear our family apart, and it's worth $15. And even when he died, they said, do you want the bowl? And I was, no, I don't want the bowl. Why? It's $15. It's an evil bowl. So
my it's funny you would say that because my great grandmother had this like set of silver, like forks, knives, like flatware or whatever, and it came in this big, beautiful wooden box, and it was like great grandparents, my family's French. So it was like, it was brought over from the old country story kind of thing. And I remember when it was passed down to my grandmother. And then when she died, my cousins and I were like fighting over it because she didn't will it to anybody in particular because she died young. She wasn't expecting to die. So she didn't figure that stuff out yet. So we had this like huge fight about who's getting what and I was the firstborn. So my grandfather was like, Cooper gets it. So I've been dragging this silverware around from every apartment I've ever lived in my entire life. Like if I lived in a tiny studio, I always had have a little space for this big giant wooden box, silver that I never used, because who uses that stuff on a regular basis? I don't have a big family, so we don't like have Thanksgiving where I took out the good silver. It's not 1940. So it's always lived in that box. So my mother's like, let's take some stuff to auction. So I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to get rid of this damn silver that I never used. Maybe it's really worth something. So that I brought all the way up to Connecticut. I bring it to the auction guy and he looks at it. He's like, this is silver plate. He's like, it's worth about $250.
Oh, so the whole time
I've been been dragging this with me for like all these years, thinking like one day I'm going to retire. Like that was my whole retirement plan. That was my either stepping in front of a Mercedes at some point or this
Fork.
silver, what I thought was silver, but turns out my great grandparents were just as cheap as I am.